PandaCast episode 6. What's going on? It's me and McGavin. We're going to be talking about the Nintendo 64 early gaming memories on Nintendo 64. Some of our favorite games, whatever comes to mind as far as that goes. Mainly, the fact that we're talking about an N64 is because it was one of our first gaming experiences. I know that, like McGavin, you can talk about your earliest ones. I know for me, I remember my first gaming experience was on like Sega and Super Nintendo, stuff like that. You know, like the old Mario games, Mortal Kombat 3 and shit like that. But that was, they would hand me the controller that's player 2 controller that's not plugged in. And then I would pretend like I'm playing because I was a little kid. Those are those experiences and those memories. But the very earliest memories, it's pretty much, and I'll let you go into it, similar to yours. PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 were the two consoles that I spent the most time on as a young child. So,
100%.
How about you, man?
Wait, so, like, what? Like, earliest memories? Memories of the 64? All right. So, one of the earliest memories that I have with the Nintendo 64 was when my dad took me to a store. I don't know if it was like Walmart or some other store in the area we were in. And we got this little box, and right in the smack dab in the middle was Mario with his little hat and the wings for the Super Mario 64. Man, let me tell you how excited I was. I couldn't even fucking read right. I could barely read like that well. And I was like, I remember like I had the little box in my hand, and I was like, oh, like trying to like look at all the pictures and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about the cartridge box, the little small
Yeah.
one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I remember that, like riding in like a truck or something. But I remember just holding it in my hand like nonstop. I was just like a little kid, like, this is mine, you know. And
you're like, man, I can't wait to look at this box, dude. Not even realizing it's like a whole world you're about to explore.
Yeah, like I don't know if I had other games, but that's literally one of the most. Well, it's like a fond memory of me, I guess, because like my dad was just like was talking to me and it's like, you excited for the game, and I just tell him like, yeah, I'm very excited or whatever, you know. And I just remember like seeing like that Mario, the box of it, I turn it over and it's like the little Goombas looking at him all mad because he's flying, whatever. It was awesome. That was honestly one of my favorite memories. Before I even played the game, I was already like super happy to get it, you know, like as a child is. And yeah, man.
Was that like your earliest experience? Do you remember? Like earliest gaming memory? Was that like the first game you played that you remember?
It's either that or like some game on the PlayStation. But again, we're talking about the 64, so I think I'm gonna give it to that one. Honestly,
okay.
I think I'm gonna give it to the Mario 64 for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because for me, the earliest thing that I remember playing was like going against a player 2 in Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega. And it was a time where my brother and sister were about to leave for the like month or something like that. And they were like, nah, just like, okay. I was beating the character's ass because he was just standing there because it was a player 2, not controlled by anybody. And then they were like, no, let the timer run out after you beat him, and then let the CPU take over. So then now you're going against the CPU. And I don't know what the hell it was set on. I didn't know how to do any moves, but that thing beat my ass, and I never wanted to play that game again.
Dude. So you said Mortal Kombat 3, right? On the Sega?
Yeah. It was like 95 or something like that, 1995.
Dude, I remember. Do you remember I told you about my Mortal Kombat experience? So I was at an arcade, or it was like one of those like little arcades that I found. I put a quarter in to play the game. Man, I beat the first 2 people in Mortal Kombat 3 as Ermac, the red ninja. I was like, oh, he's red, so I picked him. Man, let me tell you, the 4th person that I had to fight beat my ass as a kid. So I didn't know how to play. I was sitting there just like mashing the keys or whatever and the joystick, and I lost 25 cents. And then I tried to ask my dad for a quarter, and he didn't give me a quarter. And then I rage quit Mortal Kombat. I didn't play any single Mortal Kombat game until like when me and you played it on the PS3 years later.
Mortal Kombat 9, like fucking 15 years later.
Dude, I've never touched another Mortal Kombat because I just hated it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude.
So, dude.
Yeah, like, so that was like my first like memory of playing a video game. And then I remember when...
Just the frustration.
Yeah. It reminds me of Bella now when she's playing her tablet. She's like, "Go outside!" Like she's yelling just like me. I'm like, great. And I remember on the Nintendo 64, there was this weird racing game. I don't remember like what it was called, but the earliest and the game that I played the most on N64 was Banjo and Kazooie and Banjo and Tooie. Like I ran through those games like 50,000 times, just running around the world, doing all the little side stuff, doing all the trying to get the jiggies and the notes and the feathers, and just exploring all the worlds. Like that was my earliest experience with collecting in video games, technically open world in video games, and strategy guides. Because I remember we had the strategy guide for both of those, and I would all the way up into 4th grade, like 2004, late 2005 or early 2005. Was taking the strategy guides to school when we were doing the CRCT test. And
instead of studying, you read the strategy guide.
Like in between, you know how like you like finish your thing and it's like, all right, we got 45 minutes left on this one, right? I'm just sitting there flipping through the strategy guide, like trying to learn as much as possible. Like, all right, man, on the fucking Bubble Gloop Swamp level, there's a fucking guy that I can't beat. How do I beat him? Where do I go to get this jiggy? And it's like just pouring myself into the strategy guides as a young man, as a little tyke. And those, like I said, those were the games that I spent the most time with. And yeah, I had Mario 64, but that was after years later when my cousin got rid of his N64. I think he got like a, I don't know, PS2 or 360 or some shit. And he sent
whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had a GameCube. Yeah, after he got a GameCube, he sent me his games, and he had Super Smash Brothers. He had Donkey Kong, but he didn't give it to me. And then it's kind. I get it. And he gave me Super Smash Brothers and Mario 64. I remember those games. So, I didn't know. Like, one thing that I remember and I truly regret is, like, I had this weird thing where I would fucking delete saves on Nintendo 64. So my mom would play Mario Golf on Nintendo 64. And she probably spent like 100 hours on that game. Like, easily. She went against, because you have to like beat like as new characters come out, you have to like beat them in their game to be able to play as them. And she said it took her like 100 tries to beat Bowser, like the final golfer. Like, he's so good. It took her like 100 tries. And I fucking deleted the save. Like, I don't know what the fuck was my problem. I don't know why I did it.
At that time? Like,
I don't know, probably like 7 or 8. Not realizing that, hey, delete means gone forever.
Yeah.
Like, it even asked me, it was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And it was like, are you sure again? And I was like, yeah, of course. What does this mean? Beep. And deleted it. And then I remember my dad would play Mario Golf. Like, it was like New Year's 2000. I remember where I was in the year 2000 when the clock changed from 1999 to 2000. I was laying on the couch.
You weren't panicking for Y2K or whatever?
Oh, man, we were celebrating. And we were like, yes, Stone Age. No. But I was laying on the couch, and I had this much champagne. They gave me that much. And I was like, because I was like, what, 7? Some shit.
This is fucking nasty.
I was like, oh, my God. And damn, Tatiana is going hard on whoever she's talking to. But I had like the smallest sip of champagne. And then I was like tired as hell. Like, oh my God, I don't even want to stay up. And then we went to bed. And when the computers didn't turn off, my parents were like, hey, let's play Mario Golf. And we just played Mario Golf at New Year's on January 1st, 2000. Until like 2, 3 in the morning. It was so much fun. I don't know why them turning the game on made me go, hey, fucking, I ain't that tired anymore. But that's what happened.
Yeah. I think, dude, so for me, dang, I had a lot. I didn't have many games, I don't think, for the 64. I think I remember having like a stack of them, but I don't remember all of them, which is the sad part.
Yeah.
But Mario 64 was definitely one game that was like I got really into like beating or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also didn't know where to go either. Like, like I'm a
Yeah.
kid, I didn't have a strategy guide. I would barely read the things. A prompt would pop up, and I just kind of just like skip all of it. So I wasn't reading
Oh
any of
yeah, where
it.
it's like, because
Yeah,
you're like
I
fucking
just
just
skip it all.
like,
Yeah, I'm just smashing the keys. I don't know. So like a lot of games, like obviously for them, it's like, oh, make sure you don't hit me in my eyeball. That's my only weakness. Me skipping over that. How do I beat this monster?
how do I beat this guy?
Yeah, you
It's
know
like,
what I mean.
his
How
big
do I do it?
stupid eye makes me want to punch him in the stomach. It's like, what?
Yeah, and
Why, dude?
I couldn't beat, I guess, like a certain levels, and then I guess eventually I had the game Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Oh,
That
I got
game
that
right
one.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I still have it. I doubt it. But man, that game was like the beginning for me when it came to Star Wars. I didn't watch any of the Star Wars movies
Oh, I
until
had
like
no idea at that
yeah, I had
point.
no idea the Star Wars at all until like I played Star Wars Rogue Squadron because I thought the planes and all them were super fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and that's the game that made me love the Snow Speeder. The Snow Speeder's design is honestly my favorite ship in the whole Star Wars franchise.
What, the one with the two bazookas and the cord on the back?
Heck yeah! It's so cool, and
Yeah,
how it
because they
just
don't.
fly like the shape.
Yeah, because they
Super
don't
cool.
fly intergalactic. They're like super low to the
No,
ground ships.
yeah,
Those were
they're
cool.
really cool. hmm So that was one game right there that I remember I beat that game, but it took me so long to beat this one level. It was so hard for me at the time. Probably
Yeah.
now I'll probably ace it, whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
I
fucking
enjoyed
a regular Maverick from Top Gun. You're a regular
it.
Top Gun on it now, probably.
Yeah, right. But man, that game was so hard for me to like beat.
You're right, dude. I
It's
had no
good. It
clue.
was good
I had no
memory.
clue about Star Wars or never watched the movies,
Yeah,
none of that shit. But that was a
yeah.
game that we had too. I think it was like everybody had that game apparently. I bet if you look at the sales, it was like 1-to-1 console sales. Like everybody fucking every time I went to somebody's
Yeah,
house, they had an N64. They had that game. I don't know what it was.
dude, it was good. This is a good game. That's
Yeah,
why.
and like you said, I
Yeah,
had
it
no
was
clue about
fun.
Star Wars, and I remember my brother liking that game, and he was just get the gold ship and put the cheat codes in because they had like those little cheat books,
Yeah,
like that.
I didn't have any of the cheat codes. Like the
Yeah,
thing will pop up, like, and I would just like just mash whatever key. I didn't, it's a cheat code. I
yeah,
didn't know what to put.
yeah. It's like to save your progress on a lot of those older games too was it would tell you a code.
hmm
So then when you put the code in, it would unlock all the levels up until that point. So if you didn't know the code, you had to start the game over,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't
But
think I had to for that one.
I don't think it
I
was
don't
for
think
that
so.
one, but
No.
I remember some games did that, especially like those
Mhm.
early games. And with that one, dude, like he unlocked all the ships, all the maps. I'm like going to the last level, like trying to beat it, and I'm like, why is this one so hard? It's cool. I just want to play. Thinking that
Yeah.
all the levels are meant to be easy, but it gets harder as it goes.
So I did not know how to beat the walkers for the longest time
Yeah,
until like
because
I
you didn't watch the
remember.
movie.
No, yeah, I didn't watch the movies. So no, but I didn't watch the movies. I think that game we got like on a. Either we got it in the car. I think we got it in a little cartridge or something like that. Like the whole like brand
Yeah,
spanking new, pre-owned or whatever. And of course, I couldn't fucking read, or at least I didn't read it enough. And I didn't know which controller. So like me playing the game, like okay, this is up, this is down, this is shoot. Just figuring it out myself. And I did not know that for the 64 controller, the buttons that I didn't use actually did some things
yeah,
for certain chips. So like, I remember I was like, I think I was doing something. I was doing some homework one day, right? And like, you know how games do previews and stuff like that. The mission going on. There's a snow speeder on a snow mission with the fucking walkers, and you see like it's starting up, and hey, we have to wrap the legs, and I hear like a certain chime, like a click. I'm like, and then he did the click again because I guess someone messed up, and then you see him wrapping around, and I was like, wait a minute, I know that click because there's a button that does that noise. So I got to that level where I couldn't beat the walker, and then I clicked that button, and it like hook up to the wire, and then I did that. And the reason why I again remember this because I've seen this. So I was like, how do they beat this with my homework, with my pen, and I heard the click like someone pressed it too early or whatever in the
yeah,
preview. So then they did it again and it worked. I was like, I know that click because I mashed all my V's. Like, how the heck do I
yeah.
beat this thing? And I would hear that click. when I would push a certain trigger or whatever. So went and did that, and I beat it. I was like, "Mom, Dad, I beat this level. I couldn't beat for like years, like years.
That you couldn't fucking beat it,
I couldn't beat
dude.
because
Like,
I would just like they were like, oh, the walker's shields are impenetrable, and I would still like fly super far away and just come in, just strafe it,
like
and it would
fucking
nothing
Mr.
would happen.
Bonsai on the head. Like,
Yeah, like I would, and then it wouldn't blow up, whatever, because you have to topple them.
yeah,
Man, I remember that shit. I was so happy when I beat that game, and then unlocked so many other levels for me, and then I beat the game right after that. But
yeah. And
man,
you're like
that game
shit.
that level took me like I'm not gonna lie, like years. I think I was
Yeah.
like, when I say the earliest memory for that game, I was like maybe like 6 or 8. Man, I beat that game. I beat that game like 3 years later, or whatever,
Hmm.
after beating that level.
Dude,
And I was like, all
like,
right, I gotta smash all these other controllers now.
yeah, you're like, what do these buttons do? Yeah, you're sitting there like clicking on it, and you're just like, that's got to be some artillery weapon I haven't unlocked yet. It's
Yeah.
like, but dude, with that, I remember for some reason on that game specifically, I only ever played like the first level of killing like
Mhm.
the little droids or whatever on Tatooine or whatever the fuck it
Oh
was.
yeah, I love that. I love that mission.
Yeah, it's like I remember doing that, but playing games never really did it for me. Like I don't know why. It's just not really into it. And there was another game that made me think about, but I can't fucking remember it now. There's like I don't know. I was always into the Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, and then the other game. I think I mentioned this when I was talking to Jarrell last week. A game called Glover.
I think you mentioned it to me as
Okay.
well, like a couple years ago.
Yeah, Glover was this weird game where
Oh yeah.
you play like there's a wizard in a tower and he is trying to conjure up this potion or whatever and his gloves fall in the vat and they
I think I
both
looked it up when you told
yeah
me.
dude and they both come out and one's evil and one's good and then the evil one's like "Pew," and like blows the good one out of the tower. You fall down and now you got to go through all of these levels to try and get back up to the very top to defeat the other glove to, I guess, reunite with the wizard's hands. I don't know. And I never beat the game, but that was another game where it's like I would just continuously play and just be lost
Yeah.
in. And that I guess because of N64, I'm sorry, Mario 64, and just the way that it controlled, there was only like certain things that I wanted to do. I wasn't into like, oh, let me play the game from start to finish. I was just like, oh, I like this
Yeah.
level. I just want to play this level, you know. The only game that I was really into, where I cared about the story, did all the cheat codes, beat it multiple times, was the Banjo and Banjo Tooie, you know. But most of the early memories like that revolve around what was going on in my life, and the fact that I was playing like the same games for years.
Yeah, same.
And
I know, like, dude. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. No. It's like I was playing the same games for years. Like I had like 6 games that I gave a fuck about, and I would just play those like forever.
Yeah, I remember. Dude, when I got Mario Kart, man, that game was so much fun for me.
Yeah.
I had my cousin who visited us from Mexico for a little bit. He was older, and he like would race me, so I had always had someone to compete with, whatever, until he like graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that that game was so much fun. Mario Kart was a really good one that I really enjoyed. I mean, I can't really speak much on it because it's just a racing game.
Yeah.
So like the memories of it's just really fun that I had. Mario Party, dude, when that shit came out, or when I first got Mario, for the first Mario Party, I got Mario Party 1 and 2. And my dad told me, if you get glasses, I'm not getting you Mario Party 3. That Friday or whatever that was, we went to the eye doctor, and I got glasses. And guess what? Mario Party 3 is one of the most rare games out there that resells for an extremely amount of money. And
Oh
I'm like,
man,
oh. I was like,
you're like
Dad.
you're like my eyesight. Fuck.
My eyesight, I know, and it wasn't because of the TV. I just genetically have bad eyesight because that's how it
Yeah.
works.
It's like, Dad, it was because of you.
Yeah, I know, but it was so funny. My dad thought because parents back in the day they were like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's, you watch too much TV, that's why your glasses." That's not how it works, actually.
Yeah.
As the older we got now, we realize that.
Yeah, we got older and we're just like, great, Dad. Now we're poor. Thanks, you fucker.
Yeah, Mario Party 3, dude. I was so excited. My dad was like, literally, if you get glasses, I'm not buying you Mario Party 3.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get glasses, Dad.
I don't
I
need
got
them.
glasses.
Walks into a glass door like,
Right. Dude, oh my god, I was so upset. I mean, I wasn't upset at the time because I was like, man, I can see.
yeah. You were like, I can see, I
Right?
can fight.
Yeah, but yeah, Mario Party 3 was one I missed out on. A lot of good reviews of Mario Party 1 and 2 again because my family was still playing games with me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
What was that game
Dude,
that we were playing with Jasmine that one time? Was that Mario Party?
dude, that was like Wario's World or something. I don't fucking know that.
No.
I never heard of it.
What the fuck console was that on?
I think it was 64, no? Or
Was
like
it?
something. It
I don't
has to be
remember.
like a Nintendo game.
Dude,
Because-
yeah, of course, yeah. But dude, like, I don't know what the fuck that game was, but we went over to our friend Jasmine's house and we were fucking playing Wario's World or whatever, Waluigi's World or some shit, and it was like just mini games. It was like Mario
It was
Party.
just a bunch of mini games, yeah.
Yeah,
But that shit was so.
it was like
Oh, yeah,
the
just run across.
like it's like these things jumping up and it's like 3 little hills or 4 little hills. There's like a thing, and I'm standing here, and the games like gave you 13 milliseconds to figure it out, and you had 2 seconds to finish the level. I'm not even fucking around. Like if you stood there for a second, that level was over. Sorry, you fucking lost.
You're like, what do I do? And Jeff's like, just run across, and like all the platforms are like jumping in.
Yeah,
And then when you do it, he's like, you.
Yeah, he goes like in half a second, and I'm like, damn, that was.
Game,
And then it was like you win. Stupid shit like that.
It's so dumb. Dude,
If you can remember what the fuck game that was, please let us know because I can't remember.
Yeah.
But dude, that game was so stupid. It was like just run across, and then there was like the weightlifting one where the guy's like mega
You
buff.
get like
and,
mash something.
yeah, you gotta like hit the
Like a
button,
stick figure. He was like a stick figure,
and it's like,
lifts.
that was the stupidest game.
Dude, that was when we were older now too. We were like
Yeah.
graduating high school at that point.
Yeah, and we're like playing this old ass game. I don't even could not tell you what the game was. Someone out there listening is probably like screaming like, "Oh yeah, it's this, you dumb shit." But it's one of the funniest games that I've ever played and one of the memories that just sticks in my head because of how stupid it was. Like we played
That
for like
shit
30
was funny as hell.
We played like 50 like I'm telling you, literally the games were like 1 second. Like you had one
short mini games.
like literally. You know how people say literally and they just mean it figuratively? I'm saying literally the games were fucking 2 seconds. So we played probably like 100 games in like 10 minutes. It was like not even it was ridiculous. And that was like one of the funniest things. And oh damn, I guess it's just being loud downstairs. But one of the fucking funniest experiences. And I think that was a N64 game. I still have my Nintendo 64 and all my games and controllers and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I have one.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get one. They're selling some here at some like local shops or whatever, like old gaming shops.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, I really want it, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
But I would love to have it. Just to have it, you know.
You know how they did the Nintendo Classic and SNES Classic?
Yeah, I got the PlayStation one.
You got the worst one.
Sadly.
I wanted to get the SNES for Zelda 2. Or no, it was, Link to the Past. Zelda Link to the Past. That's what I wanted to get the SNES Classic for that game because I never played it, but it looks good. And then I would have loved for them to make a Super Nintendo Nintendo 64 Classic Edition. Cuz that one I would be like,
bro, they have so many games on there.
dude.
Like GoldenEye, dude, I never owned GoldenEye, but my cousin Chris did.
Uh-huh.
Man, those are matches, dude.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
dude.
like little kids back then, they're probably not even nowhere near as good. I think it was you who told me about like, I think it was your mom would get the golden gun,
Oh yeah.
and she would like look at look at like a corner, so you couldn't screen peek her.
Yeah.
And she's screaming at you, and she's
Yeah.
around, bam.
Yeah, like you'd walk. Yeah, dude. Because if you had the golden gun in the multiplayer,
Yeah.
it was like one shot, one kill, no matter what.
Shot.
Yeah. And yeah, she was the original camper. Like she would fucking just stare at the wall So like you couldn't tell which room she was in. She was just in a corner. And then but she knew where you were. And she was like, "Yep." Cuz she was like looking at your screen like, "Oh yeah, he's walking in now." Whoop whoop and turn around and shoot you. And that was like fun cuz we would play the stupid like I have a distinct memory of cuz you could like crouch down and go in the vents and stuff like that. And I have a distinct memory of you could turn like these mods, like they had in-game mods, like big head mode and
like,
shit.
yeah.
So like when you're crouching down and you have big head mode on, the head is like covering your whole body. It's just a face.
Oh, like a polygon face.
Yeah, so it's like you got like this big polygon face and then like feet sticking out the bottom because like your body, like you're crouched down, but your head is like gigantic. And
Yeah.
I have this distinct memory of crouching down, going in the vent, turning a corner, and someone was sitting there like, and there's just big face with feet at the bottom and the gun poking like through the cheek. And it's just like, and then I was like, oh shit, and then it was like my brother and he like shot me or whatever. But just the stupid shit like that, and that was like a lot of fun because I remember like my mom really getting into it. And back then my mom would play a lot of games, and she would play games like later on, but she wasn't playing any like complex stuff. She was playing stuff on the computer like Farmville and like Survivor Island and shit like that.
Yeah, I remember your mom would send me stuff on Facebook.
Oh yeah, like send me some fucking stars for Farmville.
It was something, and I guess like either you send the I think if you like accepted the thing and you downloaded or installed Farmville, she gets something. But it was so funny. She would send it all the time, but she'd get it like every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure she did it to you too.
oh yeah, like it was funny because my dad like
Farmville, yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of off, but my dad really got into Cityville, and I know this is not related to the Nintendo topic, but he would get into City. My mom loved Farmville, and she had like this massive farm with like all the equipment, and my dad had Cityville, and he had like the biggest like structural city, and it was so funny because he would show me shit. He'd be like, "Oh, this is cool." Like he was showing me like strategy, like city building. Like he's like, "Hey, I'm placing the roads here, so it's easy access for the hospital to get to the like suburban area in case somebody gets injured." And I'm just like, "Dad, that's not even a mechanic in the game." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but you want to make sure the city's laid out nice." And like he would hover because you could put like animals in random places, and there was a pig, and he would just hover over it, and he'd go, "Pig." Like it was so stupid. He would just like hover, and he'd be like, "Hey, Slick, check this out, pig." It was like so dumb, and he got mad at me because he was like, "Dude, your farm on Cityville is trash, dude. You got like eggplants that all I can do is come and revitalize them. I can't harvest them. Plant strawberries because they don't wilt. So go in your Cityville." Like he was like forcing me to go into my Cityville and harvest the fucking dead eggplant because I wasn't playing, and plant all these strawberries because they don't go bad. So he can go over there and harvest and get lives to make more moves on his Cityville. And he's like, "Dude, you're killing me." And I'm like, "I'm sorry." Like my parents they got so into those games for some reason. And they were the number one players of the Mario Golf. And my dad liked Banjo and Kazooie, but he only really liked one level, which was Mad Monster Mansion. And my mom, she, on Nintendo 64, she would play Mario, and then she got really into GoldenEye. But the game that we all played, and this was kind of like the competitive game that we were able to play, was, damn, what was it called? It was like Episode 1 Racer. It was like Rogue, it was like some shit. I forgot, or what the fuck was it called? Pod racing game. Where you could race it.
The Star Wars?
Yeah, it was the Star Wars Episode 1 pod racing game, whatever it was.
Dude, let me look it up real fast.
Yeah.
Because, let me tell you, one time with that memory, I would have never known that game existed until my dad one time had like a job offer or whatever, and we went down to Florida for like during the summer. And the company booked him a hotel or like a motel, and we stayed with him there for like a week. And it was so funny because for breakfast, like every other morning, whatever, we would go to the McDonald's, and they had like little fucking like gaming stations. Dude, they didn't have them here where we were at. So when I went down there, I was like, oh man, and they had the pod racing. I forgot what it's called. What's it called? Pod racing?
Yeah, it's like Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars Pod Racing N64 game. Type that in. See
Yeah, I'm about to Star Wars N64 game.
Yeah.
There we go. It was just I think it was just called Racer.
Star Wars Racer.
Yeah. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
You got the cover right there on the screen. Let me see. Like the front of the cartridge. Go to images. I want to see it.
Yeah. Bitch, not eBay.
Because that's probably the one. Does it have like Anakin's pod racer on the front?
The actual cartridge or like the thing? Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Let me see.
Right, back to eBay I go.
Either way, the box or the cartridge would be cool to see.
Dude, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, Episode 1 Racer. Yeah, that was the one that we had. Dude,
that was fun.
That game was the shit. If you remember that game was the shit. Like,
that was pretty fucking good.
You could choose your character, you could choose your pod, you could choose the thrusters and modify them. So you could have Anakin's pod, but then have like the bad guys like engines on the front to like go faster. Yeah. And there was like all these different stats like, oh, this one drifts better, this one turns easier, this one has more acceleration. Like pretty much standard like arcade racer stuff. But that game was fucking sick. And the levels on it was like, in my opinion, that game should come back. Like, I understand that Mario Kart's a big deal and the Crash Team Racing was great, but that game, the what was it? Episode 1 Racer, that shit was dope. And
dude, you know some of the racer that I didn't have, but Chris had again. Dude,
was it N64?
Yeah, no, it's an N64. But dude, have you ever heard of this game? Mickey Speedway USA.
Mickey Speedway USA. Nope. And it was made by Rare. Oh, dude, you fucking just jogged my memory for a game.
What game?
What Diddy Kong Racing? Did you ever play that?
No,
dude.
There were so many racing games.
Yeah, it was like kart racing. But go ahead on what you were saying about that one.
Dude, this game right here, I would always trash it. Like, always, this game is in Mario's. I was like, this game is in fucking Mario Kart or whatever, you know?
Oh yeah.
But I remember I would always play with Chris and my cousin Diana and Crystal. We'd always play that game together because it was 4-player split screen or whatever, or I think 2 maybe. I could be lying. But man, that game was fun as well. I'm not gonna lie,
dude.
It was pretty fun.
That's Donkey Kong. Dude. Here we go.
He's a Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah.
So many games came out for racing.
Dude, Diddy Kong Racing.
No, dude, I never heard of it. I mean, dude. I think you mentioned it to me like years ago, but I've never played it.
Dude, on N64, this shit was dope. It was like, okay, so you know how on Crash Team and also Mario Kart, it's just karting, right? There's just the karts. Like, that's the only thing that you can race. On this one, it was cool because there was like this open world, and you could choose your character. You could play as Banjo in there. You could play as different characters from other video games. You could play as Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong. I think you could play as Bowser. I think Mario and Luigi were in it. It was kind of like a mashup of it. It was like a Nintendo racer almost. And there was like other characters like a panda, a dinosaur that were just like that game's characters. But they introduced like other characters as well. But dude, this game, it had kind of like a similar feel to Crash Team Racing where there's like an open hub world. And then you go around the world and find the races and join in on them. So the coolest thing about this, and the thing that really made it stand out for me, and something that I was like, oh shit, that was so good, was you could drive different vehicles. So there was like plane races. So it was like it was like kart planes where they're like your character's like this and the wingspan is like that. Like you're as big as the plane almost, and you're just poking out the top like the little carts, but you could fly. And then they had like the hovercrafts or like the water propeller. How would the fuck you say that? Engine propelled rafts. You know, like the tubes, like tubing.
Yeah.
Like if you went tubing, it had like a little propeller on the back, and you would like scoot around and race on the water. And then they had the carts as well, where you drive around on like in the little 4-wheel carts. So you had like different vehicles. You had like a plane, a boat, car. and you'd go around this world, and it was just cool. And I remember playing as Banjo on that because I was super into Banjo-Kazooie. So I was like, oh, shit, I can play as Banjo on this game too. Whoa, what the fuck, dude? Even though his character model looked totally stupid compared to how he really looked.
Yeah.
Like, his character model in that game looked absolutely atrocious. So I wonder if I could find it. But, yeah, that game was freaking cool. Banjo, Diddy Kong Racing. He looked dumb as hell, I'm telling you.
He looked stupid. Let me see if I can, like, log into this 64 games.
They used it, yeah.
Nintendo 64 games. Here we go. Because I know I've had some more, or I know I've had some. But
yeah,
like,
look at how stupid he looks, right?
Where's he at?
He's in the top right.
Oh yeah,
he looks dumb as hell. But then if you look at him actually, it's like, look how cool he looks. He's like rare without. Yeah, he looks super cool. And I don't know. I just thought it was hilarious because I was like, damn, he looks dumb as hell up in this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude. Freaking, I just looked at one, Pokemon Stadium. My cousin had that.
Which one was that?
A Pokemon Stadium is where you literally fight. You play a Pokemon game. I don't know if you like maybe the.
No, I didn't play that one.
Never?
Really? No, I didn't really play. Yeah, growing up, I didn't play Pokemon games. I never played any of them.
Pokemon Stadium was cool. I never played Star Fox 64. I heard a lot of people loved it. Never played it.
Never
Mario Party 3, so bad. Diddy Kong Racing's on here. Banjo-Kazooie's on here. Star Wars Racer. Donkey Kong 64. Dude, I did not know that. I did not know that you needed a specific cartridge to play Donkey Kong 64.
What do you mean?
Or like you needed my neighbor across the street, when she was there, she had like an all yellow like 64, like a special edition like all yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
But when I asked to borrow her Donkey Kong 64 game, and I tried to play it in mine, I couldn't because I needed like a red cartridge or something like that. I needed something.
Oh, that goes in the front.
The expansion pack like that.
Yeah. That's like a RAM pack, right?
I think so. It's just original expansion pack and it's L64, whatever. But yeah, I didn't know I needed that until the 64 would tell me, like, it would blink like, oh hey, you can't play this game, whatever.
Yeah, because I think it was a RAM pack. I think it was a RAM expansion, which gave the Nintendo 64 more power to run the more advanced game of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and that game was one of them, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think Banjo and Kazooie or Banjo and Tooie were needing it as well. I don't know, because I remember those games being pretty big, and we got it. Like, I have the RAM pack. I don't know if any of the games because I never had that. Like, I never had that message pop up, but I heard about that.
Yeah, I remember I had that part. It was, dude, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I mean, I don't know if it was like now, but that shit says like $20, like $19.99.
Like
dude,
$20.
That's just $20. Dude, I loved Rogue.
Dude, I still have mine. I still have it.
Dude, I love mine. Mario Party 2, dude. I fucking love Mario Party 2. Cowboy hat, whatever. Dude, I loved it.
I still got the original. Like I said, the original Banjo Tooie. I don't have the boxes for any of them. I got Nintendo. I got WWE 2002, like the wrestling game. I think. I got. What are some of the other shits I got? I have Glover. I think I have Turok. Like that.
Oh,
the
game popped up here too. Turok. Yeah, they have Mario Golf. You just talk about it. I'm just looking at like a bunch of random ones.
N64 game.
Army Men, Sarge's Heroes.
Oh, I got that on PS1.
The Army Men, Sarge's Heroes.
Yeah.
This one right here with this fucking massive chin.
Yeah, it looks like that on the fucking PS1 cover too. Yeah.
My cousin had Mortal Kombat 4. I remember I played that one. It was really hard. I mean, again, I didn't understand. Dude, you talking about this dude right here?
Yeah, Glover. Yeah, it's a 4. Yeah, I remember there was a Zelda. It was like I forgot what Majora's Mask was that on? Okay, I don't know if that whichever one was on N64. I remember playing that one as well with my cousin, Oh yeah, here we go. Ocarina of Time was in 64. Okay. So we played Ocarina of Time, and I think there was a difficulty mode where you could play like easy or hard, or normal or hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing on easy, and it changes the game like fundamentally. Like the puzzles are easier. Like if there's like a block moving puzzle, you only move it like 2 or 3 times, and on the hard, you move it like 5 times. Like it's a more complicated puzzle, and they
Mm-hmm.
reconfigured a bunch of stuff for that. So I thought that was cool. And me and my cousin, you remember this? You probably did this too, where it's like you take turns, like I play until you die, and then the other person
Mm-hmm.
plays. Dude, he played for like 6 hours straight. Dude, he
What
played for
the
like
heck?
he played for like 6 hours straight, and was
Because he
he,
didn't die.
yeah, and then I think he either got tired of it or he actually did die. And then, dude, I played for like 10 minutes. My character, I went into town and this monster jumped on me and fucking drained my health, and like I didn't know how to get him
What
off.
game was this again?
Zelda Ocarina of Time. So like I'm at the beginning. Like he's 6 hours in. I'm at the beginning of the game, and I walk into this town and this thing jumped me, and it was like a zombie thing. It like jumped on me and drained my life in like 5 seconds. It killed me. I didn't know how to get him off. And then he was like, "Well, you died. My turn again." And then he proceeded to play the rest of the day. I was like, "Wow, okay." We're probably on the same. Yeah, so I remember that shit. And then Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo Kazooie, Episode 1 Racer, Donkey Kong 64, GoldenEye.
What website are you on? I'm on DK
Yeah, I was
Oldies.
on that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
The games that it was
dude,
showing me, it was like I'm not seeing them anymore.
dude. I would rent games from
Damn. Hold on,
Blockbuster.
hold on, hold on. Okay, she's still talking in French, which means she's not yelling at the kids.
So yeah, I used to rent games from Blockbuster, the 64 games. Dude, I remember I rented out Rampage. You remember like the Rampage games at all? Have you ever heard of them?
Mm-mm.
Where you're just a giant monster destroying the city.
No, I don't remember
It was like the cover looks like that. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
that. Oh, I recognize the dinosaur, but I never played it.
Yeah, I remember I played that one. What was another game? I just covered it. I think maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Then anyways, but yeah, I remember playing that game. There were some other games that we had.
Hmm. There was one game. It was called Hey You Pikachu, and then you could like instead of the for the weird ass controller, instead of putting the vibration pad,
Oh, it's right here.
yeah,
It's like a mic.
yeah, you would plug a
Yeah, I remember seeing a
microphone in,
commercial about that.
and,
Yeah,
and
I
you would
remember seeing a
you would
commercial for
talk
that.
you would talk to Pikachu, and you would say shit like, "Come on,
Yeah,
Pikachu, do it."
yeah, I remember that. Oh, never mind. This is the game that I rented out.
Rampage
Rampage
2.
2. My bad.
I
Same thing.
remember the box art, but I never played it. Star
And then
Fox, Perfect Dark.
I remember I rented Monopoly on 64 because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I rented that shit out. That shit was funny. Dude,
Legend
there's
of
so many
Zelda
games here that
Majora's Mask,
I don't remember
Super
any of
Mario
these.
64. And then, okay, so if this list is like the top 25 games, it put Diddy Kong Racing above Mario Kart on N64.
It was
So,
not. So,
so you already know how good that shit is. Perfect
mm,
Dark is way up there. Number 4
whack.
on the list is Banjo Kazooie. And this is what IGN had to say about it. To truly understand the importance of Banjo Kazooie, all you have to do is look at the thrilled reception to the addition of the weird yet charming bear and bird combo to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Hallowed roster over 20 years after its initial release. Why? Banjo Kazooie has withstood the test of time as both a character duo and a game. Following the game changing release of Super Mario 64, Rare took what's so special about that game and built upon it to create timeless and hilarious adventure with an unlikely crew. And
Yeah,
then,
well, it's better than this game.
yeah, it was. And then The Legend of
Absolutely.
Zelda Majora's Mask is number 3, and then Super Mario 64 is number 2, and then of course everyone's favorite game, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I had such a terrible memory with that game.
Never played it.
Yeah, that was the game that we were playing when my cousin played all day, and I died in 10 minutes. And it was cool too because it had like a golden cartridge.
Oh man, I remember this game. Chris had it. Extreme G. It was like a racing game that had like weapons and stuff like that. You like shoot it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I never played that one either. But nah, as far as okay, so this is a big controversial part of the Nintendo 64 because it's a game system that a lot of people like, but the number one thing people shit on about it is the controller and the vibration packs and all this other weird shit.
Vibration packs. I didn't even know the thing had a vibration. Oh, it did it?
Yeah, so like you know how you'd hold the controller like this and then
the joystick, yeah.
yeah, and it had the thing you could like put batteries in it and then plug it into the back and it made the controller heavier and then when you would do stuff that would vibrate.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was the vibration pack that would go on the back to give you rumble. It was a rumble pack. That's what it called. That's what they called it. But the controller is the most controversial thing because there's people that love it and then there's people that say it's the worst controller ever invented. And I'm like, I love it.
I don't know about it being the worst. I remember that shit would like Mario 64 spin Bowser. It like rub my finger because it didn't have like any like protective thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been better, and obviously, like years of controller development has gone into making the joysticks what they are now, and because that one would get all loose and shit, but nah.
Yeah, that shit just be dangling and shit.
Yeah, you like hold the controller.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Like here's the thing. It would just be like.
My favorite controller was the purple see-through one with like, all the parts and stuff like that in it.
I got that one.
I had that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I got the purple controller. My cousin had like the solid blue one, but dude, that was the one he would use all the time. So that controller, that one is like super limp dick on the like ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, I had that one. I had the classic gray one, and then I had like the see-through purple one. Man, this controller was so cool, bro.
To me, they were dope. Like I loved it.
I mean, I don't know. It's probably because we grew up with them and whatever. So that's why we're like, oh man, it's so awesome. If someone goes back to it now, you're like, man, what the fuck is this shit?
Nah, like I would tell you, yeah, like if I would tell you this, if I could play Banjo-Kazooie with a PS5 controller, I definitely would. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't give up like the superior design of the PS5 controller for the Nintendo.
And like the response, how responsive and good it is, the laggy buttons.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I was like, oh man, I wish I could play like Ghost of Tsushima with a Nintendo 64 controller, but I am saying, fuck no. But I am saying that it's a good controller in my opinion. Like it was very ergonomic, very comfortable to play. Everybody just thought it was goofy because it had the 3 prongs sticking down. Yeah. But dude, like, and you had to hold it like this, like asymmetric, like for the Z button and all that stuff. But nah, to me it was sick. I loved it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
But I don't really have a lot of hate for it. Like in my personal opinion, I don't like the GameCube controller. Like that one was goofy to me.
I mean, I guess I never owned one, and for me it was like 64, PlayStation 1, and then I jumped straight to PS3, and that's it. So whenever I would go over to my cousin Cindy's house and she had the 64, we played Mario Sunshine. I didn't have no issues with it, but for me it was like, where's the Z button? Because I instinctively want to reach behind the controller, like the 64 would be, but it's like right there in the front. So I just moved my thumb over and hit it. I guess I don't remember the layout of the button, but yeah.
Yeah, it was goofy.
And same thing with like the first time I touched like an Xbox controller, I was like press X, and I'm pressing X for PlayStation, not pressing X for like an Xbox controller. Like, what the hell?
You're like reload with X. That's weird. Typically that's jump. Wait, why am I jumping? Oh, I'm pressing B.
Yeah, you know. And yeah. I don't think I had it. I can't really give an honest opinion on the 64. My bad, on the GameCube controller because I didn't have enough time with it.
Yeah,
I would only go over there every once in a while when I would play it.
Yeah, it was like super rare that I'd play that too because my cousin had it. So when he got the GameCube, and he lived in Florida and then moved to South Carolina. So it was like we'd see him like maybe twice a year. Like I'd go over for a week or two in the summer, and then in the winter around Christmas I would go back, or like he would come visit us for a couple weeks. Which again, as far as gaming memories, he would come over and we played through the entirety of Kingdom Hearts twice when he was over. Like
nice.
It's
a long game.
the reason why I say twice is because like we would do back and forth, where it's like I would play on my level, he would play on his. But we did timing this time because I learned from Ocarina of Time years before, where it's like, oh yeah, play for 2 hours, then I play for 2 hours, then you play for 2 hours, stuff like that. And then one day I played like all day, and then he played all day the next day, and we were basically going through the game at the same rate, same pace, and doing different stuff. And like I came back, and he's like, "Oh man, I got this double jump and glide thing," and I'm like, "Shit, where'd you go to get that?" And I'm like, all right, let me get it now, and let me fight the boss, to try and like catch up to him. But with Nintendo 64, again, a lot of great memories, a lot of nostalgia when it comes to that console. That's one of those consoles where it's like anybody talks trash about it, I'm like, you just weren't there, bro. You just don't like it. What did you have? A PS1? Me too, but fuck you for saying that.
Me too, but fuck you, yeah. Dude, I love the 64. I think I played my 64 more than I did my PlayStation. Because I had mainly because the games would save onto the cartridge itself. Because the PS1 game, I never had a memory card for any of the games I played. Yeah. So I'd always start from scratch no matter what game I played. And I'd be playing the game for hours. And then, time to go to sleep. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Woo! Level 1 for the 15th time again. Yeah. For years. I never had a memory card for PlayStation, ever. So I'd always play the same games over and over and over and over and over again.
You're like, I didn't even know there was a level past 5.
Yeah, No, and speaking of which, the Switch came out with like this bundle or whatever that was only available for a little bit. It came with 64, Mario, it came with Sunshine, it came with like another I think it was like Galaxy. Yeah. All three of them, I bought it. And when I was overseas and I didn't have much internet or whatever, I had my Switch and I beat 64.
Oh, fuck yeah.
20 years later. I was like, hell yeah, dude, I finally beat it. It was awesome. I was like, dude, I finally beat Mario 64. Woo! And everybody was like trying to go to sleep because I'm like the only one up at like late at night.
Yeah. Dude, I thought about that and I go, man, I should make some type of an account to be able to buy that bundle just for Mario Sunshine because I really like that game.
Dude, I was playing Mario Sunshine and I was like, man, I'm tired of playing Mario right now because I was like up all night or like up for like a couple days playing Mario 64. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, all right, I'm getting tired. I'm gonna take a break from Mario for a bit. Yeah. Mario Sunshine is fun though. I like it.
Yeah, that was like, as far as a Mario game, that's probably my favorite one. But again, I'm super biased, super limited experience because the only other one that I played was Mario 64, which I didn't care for as much. I liked Sunshine better. And then I'm not like the biggest Mario fan, But really? Speaking of Nintendo and Mario, the Super Mario movie that's coming out. Does that shit look dope to you as dope as it looks to me? It looks like they're trying to make it like Avengers Endgame, but Super Mario universe. Like, it literally looks like beat for beat that movie.
I like it. I kind of wish the voice for Mario was different.
Dude, I love how it's not. I think it's so funny that it's not.
No, I think it's funny because it's like, I don't want it to be the main guy for the Mario. Like,
yeah,
I don't want him to be. Yeah, but the way he did it when he did that Wahoo part and he was drifting, it sounded off. I was like, he didn't sound too enthusiastic when he said that.
He was like, Wahoo.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm actually excited for that one. It looks fun.
It makes me think of like
fun. It looks fun.
Right.
It doesn't look like that's all that matters. It looks like it's gonna be like a good little laugh, good little fun fun movie to watch. Oh hell yeah, I'm down for it.
It makes me think of Wreck-It Ralph, the first one. Where I'm like, it's got a ton of references. It's got a bunch of gaming references. Obviously, it's a Mario game, but Wreck-It Ralph had a bunch of gaming references, so it was like easy to relate to. It had a bunch of funny jokes like, oh, you hit a guy with glasses. Huh, nice pun. And then it had some epic moments when he's like flying down to break the thing and he's looking at the bad guy medal. And dude, I want to cry when I see that. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, there's no one I'd rather be than me. And then he's like falling in slow motion.
I'm a bad guy, but that's good.
Yeah. I'm not good and that's not bad. Like.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, it made me want to well up, dude. I'm welling up as I'm like getting tingles as I'm thinking about it. And he's falling in slow motion. That level of like, oh, I give a shit about this character. It makes me, I feel like I'm going to, like looking at the trailers and the stills and stuff like that for the Mario movie, I'm like, damn, if they do it right, they could have like a hit, like a big hit on their hands. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think it would be sick if it was good.
Yeah.
I'm for some reason excited for it because it makes me think of Avengers, like with some of the stills and the way they're portraying Bowser and the ships that are coming down. I'm like, dude, they're just making Avengers. Like,
it looks fun.
yeah.
I liked how comedic it was in the beginning. I was like, oh, we're the Ice Kingdom, and this is a bunch of. You've seen the trailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're just like they just put a shield and Bowser just melts it all down in one swoop of a blast of a breath.
And it's like, and they're like, oh shit.
No.
Yeah, they're making it fun.
Yeah, exactly. They're making it fun, not too serious. Because man, that I never saw like the '90s portrayal of it, of the live action Mario, but
It's bad.
I never saw it. Yeah,
It's funny though.
yeah
Like John
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo is Luigi. Like, and he's like, yeah, what's up, Mario? It's like how John Leguizamo is like very like animated and like crazy, like when he was younger, dude. But man, as far as N64, what's the number one memory that stood out? Like, what's the nostalgic thing? Like, you think about N64 now, what's the first thing that pops in your head?
Dude, I don't know, man. Oh, obviously, it's not a good one. I'll probably tell you offline. But yeah, I think for a good memory, I think honestly, the getting the game 64 and driving like home with my dad, like seeing how excited I was and how excited I was to get the game, and me just riding in the truck with him. I think that was honestly one of my favorite memories. Even though I have so many like fun gaming memories and whatnot, I do remember just like him like rubbing my head, like, oh, you're so excited for this game, and I'm just sitting there like looking at the box like a child, like not paying him any mind. But I don't know why that memory sticks to me pretty well.
Yeah, there's a memory, and it's not necessarily the game that I was playing, but we were playing a racing game on Nintendo 64, and I was in the living room, and we had like a couple of the kitchen chairs in the living room, and we were racing. And I was going over like these jumps, and I was picking this like truck or whatever. And I remember my mom and dad calling us for dinner, and then me, my brother, and my sister getting up from the game. And you just leave it on pause because we're just eating real quick. So leaving it on pause, going in, having dinner, then coming back and playing the game after dinner. And it's just like one of those memories where it reminds me of like what life was like when I was a kid. Not necessarily like, oh, I was playing this game when I was younger, but it was like, oh, like the full picture of what my life was consisting of at that time, which was, oh, my mom and dad, hey, dinner's ready, guys. Like, all right, we run in there, and then we like get back to the game, like, oh yeah, like we're hitting each other, like we're trying to, like, no, dude, you were playing before, let me play now, shit like that. Just like a cool like nostalgia feeling that I'm getting thinking about it. And yeah, when it comes down to gaming, Banjo-Kazooie was the game that I poured a lot of time in and kind of basically fostered this love of gaming. And those are the best memories I have from the console. I don't think I'd be into gaming like I am now if it wasn't for Nintendo 64.
Yeah, the Nintendo 64 definitely played a huge part in gaming for me, and of course the PS1. But again, we're talking about like 64, yeah, for sure. Like, I love going over to my cousin's house and they had their 64, and I'd bring my own game or whatever, or we'd play like GoldenEye or some racing game or whatever. Man, it was
dude.
Fun.
Going over to your friend's house and game sharing was so easy because it would save your progress on the cartridge. So you just like pop your game in, and then boom, you just pick up where you were. It was so easy to like go from game like house to house. And but yeah, like when it comes to PS1, like cuz I had those at the same time, and then I got the PS2, and the PS1 kind of easily phased out because most of the things I was playing on that were like the demo discs. And
oh yeah, like, I had so many demo discs.
Dude, PlayStation 1 is a whole topic in and of itself, so we'll get into that another time. But yeah, when it came down to it, yeah, it was Nintendo 64, PS1, and then that phased out, and I basically had that from whenever that came out, like 96, 97, whenever that came out, I don't even remember. Up until I had my PS3 in 2007. I was like on those two consoles or on the Nintendo 64 for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easily. So, ton of memories. And right now I have it in the garage, but I think the reset button is kind of messed up. So you'll turn the game on, play for a little bit, and then it'll reset and restart the console. And
No.
then you play for a little bit longer and it'll reset. So it's like
It's an
uh,
endless cycle of just resetting.
yeah, it'll just automatically reset. So I think the connection on the reset button might be like
Dude,
loose.
have you ever tried calling the number in the back of the 64?
I think it still works.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because there was an episode of what the Kind of Funny Games cast, with like Greg Miller and them, and Tim
Mhm.
Geddes, like back when I used to watch them, like years ago. This was like 2000. I stopped watching them for a while, like 2018, something like that. They were talking about it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, the number on the Nintendo Power, I think it was the same. Like if you wanted to call in to get like tips and help and shit like that." And he was like, "Dude, I called that number so many times when I was a kid. I remembered it." And he goes, "It's ba 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 ba," right? And then he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna call it right now. See if it's on." Da-da-da. And it was like,
No
"Hello,
way.
thank you for calling Nintendo. Your call is very important." It was like a normal, like modern day response, like, "Your call is very
What?
important to us." Da 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 da. Like, please remain on the line, and a Nintendo specialist will help you. It was like, what the fuck? Like the number's still up. It probably still works. If you
Dude, that's so crazy.
we should do that. Like, just do a quick video. Like, it's like, "Hey, Nintendo 64, we're calling the number." See what it
Yeah,
says.
man. I don't have my 64 with me, but yeah, I remember seeing that number all the time. Like, cause it had Mario with like a little, like flathead screwdriver with
Yeah,
like
and
a
he's like,
flathead. He's like, yeah, like, hey, I'm here to help you out or fix you up or something. I don't know.
"Yeah, I'm here to wreck
Dude,
it."
I'm gonna wreck it.
But yeah, check out Wreck-It Ralph, guys. And what are some of your memories on the Nintendo 64? Leave it in the comments below. Share with us some of the experiences that you had. What were your favorite games? If there was a game that we forgot to talk about that you loved as a kid, definitely tell us. If there was a game that we talked about that you also enjoyed, let us know some of your favorite experiences on some things like Rogue Squadron, Episode 1 Racer, Turok, whatever game you played. And tell us what life was like around when you were a kid and when you were first starting into gaming and things like that. Let us know how that all played out for you. And as always, enjoyed your company, enjoyed your time, McGavin, and hope you guys enjoyed the show.